But at some point, the math is the math.
I think we can do a better job using that information.
It reinforces my belief that I have the best constituents. Hello, District 6. It's your Council Member Jimmy Flannigan on the very first episode, our pilot episode of the Clawback Live. This is a new experiment for me, a new experiment, I think, for a lot of folks. You don't see a lot of elected officials doing live shows like this, but I felt it was important to make sure that we got good information out to the public, direct from your elected official. And I will say it's a little bit of a risk. A lot of elected officials like to be curated. They'll make a video, they'll slice and dice it, they'll edit it down. But I think there's much more value to speak directly to the public, and in the future, as we grow this idea, have some direct engagement through the live show. Today, I'm going to cover a number of topics. I don't know that we're going to really engage too much in the comments. I am doing this from my home with my own equipment and my own laptop and my own cell phone. Don't even have a separate camera. It's right off my cell phone. But I think this is going to be hopefully a good tool for the public and for District 6 to keep track of what's going on, and for me to let you all know the stuff that's happening that maybe you didn't hear about. So the first thing I want to start with, there we go, look at that. Oh, I didn't even change the fonts. This is how you know it's a pilot episode. One of the fonts is different, but it's okay. We're gonna cover three issues primarily in our episode today. The homelessness issue, of course, is an important one to talk about. Talk about the Asian Resource Center, the Asian American Resource Center, which, although it's located in District 1, it's a major concern and value to the folks in District 6. As many folks know, District 6 has the city's largest Asian community, so I do quite a bit of work engaging with those community leaders and those community members. And then we'll talk about this coming November election. That's right, an election in 2 months, not November 2020, November 2019. There's a couple of items on that ballot that I want to make sure everybody knows to go and vote for. So homelessness, we've had 3 city council meetings in a row this week. In fact, the last one ended about an hour and a half ago. It's been a long week. Normally, the way council business goes is we have an agenda that's published 2 weeks out. Then the Tuesday before, we get together as a council and kind of work through some of the questions and the issues so that we can try and run an efficient meeting on Thursday. This week was very different. On Tuesday, we canceled work session. A number of council members were out of town. On Wednesday, we did an abbreviated work session where there were just kind of issues daylighted, but we didn't really get to the work. And then we had some pretty robust public comment on the issue of homelessness, and then we adjourned. Then we had a whole council meeting on Thursday from 10 a.m. to almost 10 p.m. And then we came back again Friday morning, 9 a.m. this morning, to try and hash out some type of, I guess you could say compromise, but at least some definition around the camping ordinance, the sit-lie ordinance, and what the direction forward is. What I find really troubling about a lot of this work is that it's very difficult to cut through the noise and really talk about the core issue that we're facing. In the future, hopefully I'll have figured out the technology in a way that I can kind of draw some stuff on the screen as we go. But in short, the homelessness problem is not the one anecdote you've heard. In fact, there are a lot of reasons people can become homeless. When you think about this issue, it's not just what you see on the street. It's folks who are living in their cars. It's folks who are couch surfing, folks who are in shelters, but they don't have a permanent location yet. And the challenge for the city, the challenge for all cities, and for the whole country, is how are we building the right social safety net and the right systems so that as folks have some unexpected trauma in their life, it could be job losses, layoffs, it could be health. You get a big medical bill and suddenly you can't pay your rent. It could be family issues. There's a lot of folks who lose their home because of domestic violence. There's an LGBT youth homeless issue. The challenge is really how are we ensuring that the services we provide match the need at the point the person is experiencing the need, and not waiting until someone becomes so chronically homeless that it is both almost impossible to help them and an infinite amount of cost. That is what most cities have done for many, many years. They spend a lot of money up front, job training and economic development, and that kind of stuff. And they spend quite a bit of money at the end with these kind of hardcore shelters and day services and that kind of thing. And a lot of nonprofits have been doing the same thing. Up until about maybe 7 or 8 years ago, that's how the whole nation did it. Now, what you might have heard is called housing first, which is much more complicated than, say, giving everybody a house. This is where we actually think about the issues that people are facing and build the targeted solutions to address them before they become chronically homeless. Some of the substance abuse and mental health issues that people experience in that condition are developed while they're on the street. The more we can help folks up front, the more people we can help, and the more affordable it will be to the taxpayers. What we did today was nothing. We ended up not being able to come to a conclusion as a council, which I find incredibly frustrating. I was ready to move forward, voted no on the postponement, showed my support for banning camping in areas where there are high fire risk, and providing the additional clarity to our public safety officers. Fortunately, the rest of the council was not ready to move forward. And then the final thing is that some council members were proposing a very prescriptive plan, which felt a little odd to me because we just hired a homeless strategy officer out of Orlando who has a lot of experience across the nation actually addressing these issues for many cities. I think she's the one we've got to be working with and not dictating to. Otherwise, why did we bring her into the city? So there'll be a lot more work coming on homelessness. It was already said there'll be another work session on it. This won't be the last time we talk about it. Hopefully by then I'll have some diagrams and additional information to share. The other two issues I want to talk about briefly, the Asian Resource Center. This is a community center that's in District 1 in East Austin. Many folks in D6 have been there, but there's a master plan to expand it. It was in the bond election. This is a voter-approved bond project. And what we decided to do in my office with my co-sponsors on Thursday was take a look at the larger piece of property. There's a whole city campus called the Rutherford campus right next to the Asian Resource Center that has a couple of two-story buildings on it. Meanwhile, we're paying millions of dollars in leases on other properties, which is also paying taxes to other governmental entities, when really we should be building city-owned facilities that'll be cheaper for the taxpayers over the long term. And then explore the public-private partnership opportunity to say, you got this big, like 47-acre property, a lot of it not dedicated to the Asian Resource Center. Why not engage with private developers and see what they might be able to do on that part of the site to help raise revenue to build the rest of it? So I'm really excited about it. I think this is going to be a great example of fiscal responsibility and long-term planning for the city. The 3rd November election, we've got an election coming up in November. We've got a couple of items on the list. If you are a Travis County resident, you'll have a Travis County item. If you are a Williamson County resident, you'll have 2 Williamson County items. But all of us will have 2 City of Austin items. Oh, wait, unless you're in the ETJ, then you'll only have 1 City of Austin item. It gets very complicated. But all you really need to know is you got to vote no on the 2 city propositions, A and B. Got to vote no on the city propositions. If you want to know more, you can check the voter's guide that I've published on my website, jimmyflannigan.com/2019/-guide. Of course, jimmyflannigan.com, you can see the blog. You can see the former Clawback blog posts that kind of initiated this process, in addition to our voter's guide. Look at them go away. Beautiful. The other segment that I've got for us today, let's see if this will work. Yes, it's the District 6 traffic report, which is not going to be about who's got in a car accident today, but it's going to be about what is the next round of projects that we're working on in order to address traffic in District 6. There are a ton of things going on, projects that we've funded, projects that we've planned, projects that are under construction right now. Very quickly, you've got the 4 Points project, you've got the Palmer Lane project, you got the Anderson Mill Road project, you got the 183 project, you got the intersection of 620 and Anderson Mill, which Campo approved. That one's going to be a great grade separated intersection there. We got money in Campo for Lakeline Boulevard. There's the Nina project that was in partnership with Williamson County. We've also done some small scale stuff, specifically around pedestrian safety for schools, pedestrian crossings, kind of the lights where the lights go up. You can cross at Live Oak Elementary and Deer Park Middle on Anderson Mill Road. And then again, in partnership with Williamson County, and thanks again to Commissioner Terry Cook for being such a great financial partner to that effort, a pedestrian crossing and with the lights and new signage and extending the street signs and a new full stoplight at Avery Ranch and Pearson Ranch Boulevard. These are projects that we were able to move forward relatively quickly. And I'm excited to see a partnership with Williamson County be so successful. And another partnership project with Williamson County, a new turn lane on Lakeline Boulevard going into the HEB, which Commissioner Cynthia Long helped bring us to the table on that, and it's a partnership project with Williamson County. So I can't believe how quick 10 minutes has gone by. I was really hoping to hit a 10-minute window in the first episode. I think maybe the future episodes might even be a little longer. There's a lot more stuff I want to talk about, a lot of work that's going on at the city, and that's really the point of this. It is very easy to stay in our little media bubbles on Facebook, on Twitter, on Nextdoor, in our email newsletters, and you only see one version of the story. The city is a complicated organization, and we are working on so many things all at the same time. That is both the joy and the challenge of being a city council member, something that I enjoy and value this opportunity to represent the people of District 6, now just 2.5 years into my term. We've got a ton of stuff that we've done, a ton of stuff that's on the way. We've got work coming with neighborhood leaders on even more small-scale traffic projects. We've been doing work citywide on municipal court stuff. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff happening. And then all the regional work, since, as you know, District 6 is the only part of the city that goes into Williamson County. I also sit on a lot of the regional boards that represents the city. So there's a lot of regional work that we're doing, both representing the city and District 6. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of great stuff going on. I'm excited to have the live show. We're going to keep doing this, hopefully after every council meeting, to give you the recap. Turns out that 10 minutes goes by much faster than I thought. So we'll have more interesting content for you in the future. I hope you all enjoyed what we're doing here today. Stay tuned in the future. Oh, and there is one more thing. The Chronicle put out their Best of Austin nominees this week. A certain District 6 council member is listed as Best City Official. So if you are so inclined, you can check out the Austin Chronicle's Best of Austin voting form on their website and maybe cast a ballot for your own District 6 City Council member, Jimmy Flannigan. I'm going to see if I can make my transition to my final scene window. There go the credits. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We're going to keep doing this every council meeting. Please like and share this video. Share it with others. In the future, we'll be able to do this on YouTube and other platforms. I think it's going to be a great opportunity, and we'll see you all later.